Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the remote meeting of the Central Durham Crematorium Joint Committee, being held on Wednesday, the 28th of April, 2021 at 9:30. I am Councillor Neil Foster, and I chair this committee. Please note this meeting is being streamed live to Durham County Council's website and will be available to be viewed for a minimum of 6 months. I'd like to give a warm welcome to the members, officers, and any members of the public and media who are watching this live feed of the meeting. Before I commence with the formal business on the agenda, I'd like to cover some housekeeping issues for all of us to follow in order for the meeting to run smoothly and efficiently. Those participating in the meeting, if you could please only speak when invited to by myself as chair. Keep your microphone on mute at all times unless invited to speak. If you do wish to speak, type RTS in the chat function and that will indicate to me that you wish to speak. Please bear in mind that all participants can see any messages that you put in the chat function. Once invited to speak, please do introduce yourself with your name and position unless you've already been introduced to the meeting earlier. Should I lose my connection this morning, the Vice Chair of the committee, Councillor Jean Chappell, will take over in my absence until my connection is restored. I'd now like to move on to the agenda. So we can start with apologies for absence.
Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Corrigan of Durham County Council and Councillors McAloon and Sprott of Spennymoor Town Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. And any substitutions?
Chair, we have Councillor Ron Hiley for Councillor McAloon and Councillor Ian Machin for Councillor Sprott.
Can I welcome you both to the meeting? Can we move on to item 3, which is the minutes of the meeting held on the 27th of January 2021. Can I formally have a mover and seconder of those minutes?
Move them, Chair. Councillor David Bell.
Thank you, David. And a seconder?
Can I second them, Chair? Jean Chappell O'Denis.
Thank you, Councillor Chappell, much appreciated. Before I invite any comments on the minutes, there was an item raised towards the end of the meeting in any of the business with regard to the Book of Remembrance. What I did say that along with the Vice Chair, we would explore with Graham what the situation was, and my understanding is that the government guidance that was in place at that time still hasn't changed, and obviously we've got to maintain the information that comes from government guidance, so we've got to stay within those guidelines, and I will continue to monitor that situation. I'm now opening up for any questions in the chat room. Okay, I've got no comments in the chat room.
Councillor Hopgood would like to speak.
Sorry, I can now see them coming in. Yes, Councillor Hopgood.
Right, thanks, Chair. I think that the government guidance presumably applies to the whole country, and lots of councils have found a way to do this. I think that we should be looking for a way to do this. It was suggested that it didn't have to impact on the current crematorium staff, because I appreciate how hard they're working and how much their time's restricted. There is plenty of finance available, which was one of the suggestions we mentioned. And I just think as a council, we should be leading by example. We don't follow government rules on other things when we think it's a right thing to do. And I think this is a case in question at the moment where many other councils have found ways to open the remembrance books up for grieving families to go and visit, and we should be looking for a way to do it. Thanks, Chair. I'd just like that noted.
I do take that on board. Obviously, we will follow the guidance as much as possible, and do bear in mind, obviously, the Book of Remembrance is available online for people who want to do it, and the grounds of the crematorium are open for people who want to visit the site. It's just unfortunate that we can't currently give access to that particular building, but I understand it's being monitored and I will keep an eye on it personally while I'm in a position to do so. Are there any other comments on the minutes? Okay, I can't see any other comments. Can I move on to item 4, which is any declarations of interest? I can't see anybody wanting to indicate anything, so if we can move on to item 5, which is the performance and operational report. Can I invite Graham Harrison to give that report?
Thank you, Chair. It's update on the performance and operations of the crematorium since the last joint meeting, and the performance update for the period the 1st of January 2021 to 31st of March 2021. And the full profile of where families came from can be seen in Appendix 2, but in summary, 207 came from Durham, 25 from Spennymoor, and 438 from other areas. There were 5 non-viable fetus undertaken for the period covered by the report, compared to 2 in the same period last year, which is an increase of 3 non-viable fetus and an increase of 12 cremations. Total number of cremations in 2020-21 was 2,738, compared with 2,350 in 2019, an increase of 388 cremations, which is due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The 2021 budget was prudent assumption of 2,200 cremations during the year. The actual number of cremations undertaken was therefore 538 more than the budget position. This reflected an overachievement of cremation fee income of £325,839, which is included in the financial monitoring report later on. Next item below is just a table showing the comparative figures for the previous 10 financial years. And the next item is with regard to sale of memorials from the period January to March 2021. In overall terms, the number of value of memorials sold was 66, 19,128, compared to 48, 14,990. That's an increase of 18 memorials sold and 4,138 in additional income generated. The next table below identifies the total number of values of memorials sold during 2020 and 2019-20. And basically there was 172, 58,065 in 1920 and 223, 70,488 in income for that period. Next item was with operational matters and staffing matters. Members were updated at the last meeting with regarding the COVID situation. Staff were faced on a daily basis and continue to demonstrate a high level of service. The staff continue to cope with the demands and are an asset to the crematorium, and I continue to thank them for assistance during this difficult time. Due to recent COVID-19 outbreak at the crematorium, several of the staff had to self-isolate and were therefore had to bring in relief staff from within our service area to cover. A number of these staff continue to assist where possible and are an asset to the authority. We also have had to take additional cleaning of the crematorium during the day by employing an additional cleaner who assists the crematorium staff for 3 hours during the day. Next item is with regards to credit card payments. The crematorium doesn't currently offer a credit card payment option to members of the public wanting to pay for some of the services, and discussions have therefore been held with the income and support team regarding offering this service, and the chip and pin machine has been ordered for a monthly rental of £16 per month plus nominal processing fees. The cost can be absorbed within existing office budgets, and this will provide an enhanced service to families. Next item is with regards to Crematorium Burial Conference Exhibition 21. This was due to be held in Southampton from the 21st to the 23rd of June 2021. However, due to the pandemic, it's once again being cancelled. So the recommendations, Chair: note the performance of the crematorium, note the additional cleaning undertaken as part of the COVID outbreak, note the introduction of the credit card payment facilities, and note the cancellation of the joint conference. I'll take any questions, Chair.
Thank you, Graham, for that comprehensive report, and do pass on our best wishes to the staff for all the work that they've done. I'll open it up to the floor and invite Councillor Ian Machin.
Thanks, Chair. I'd just like to say on behalf of Spennymoor Town Council, what a great job Graham's team have done yet again. It's really great to see. The other comment I'd make is that I think the charge that you're paying for the credit card machine is very competitive. And the last 2 we've bought, I wish I could have got down to that rate. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Machin. I've got no other requests to speak. If not, thank you, Graham. I appreciate the report. Again, comprehensive as always.
Thank you, Chair.
We'll now move on. If everybody's happy to accept the recommendations.
Agreed.
Agreed. Thank you very much. If we
Agreed.
move to item 6 on the agenda, the financial report. Philip, I think you're on mute.
Yes.
Philip.
Sorry about, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks, Chair. Yeah, Phil Curran, I'm the Finance Manager for Neighbourhoods and Climate Change. Okay, thanks. This report summarises the provisional outturn for the financial year 2021 for Durham Crem. Just in summary, the crematorium is generating a surplus of 985,000 this year. That's against a budget of 761,000. So it's actually 224,000 better off against the budget than what we originally anticipated. That's only a slight change, mind, from the Q3 position, which shows an additional surplus of 217,000. Just moving down to paragraph, just below paragraph 12, that table shows all the different items of expenditure and income for the CREM, and it gives a breakdown of the items of expenditure that form the budget. So as you can see, that net income page there shows the surplus higher than budget of 224,000. The next section gives details of what makes up those variances. The main things are, in terms of employee expenditure, is 44,000 higher than what we're anticipating. Graham touched on some of the reasons for that in his operational report, such as increased overtime and the redeployment of staff as a result of the pandemic over the last 12 to 15 months. Supplies and services has also increased, and that's higher than budget by about 47,000. Main reasons for that are additional costs to do with medical referees, and also the fact that for a period of time the CREM gave free webcast to the ceremonies that took place, so that resulted in additional costs. And also the biggest reason is the additional income that we've received because of the increased number of deaths, unfortunately, and that's provided an extra £320,000 of income. So the additional income offset by the increased employee and supplies and services costs, that gives us the 224,000 additional income. Just moving down to the capital programme in paragraph 16, you'll see there that the outturn that we're expecting is 176,000 less than budget. The main reasons for that underspend are to do with the reprofiling of those bottom three schemes in the programme. So the replacement of the chapel dome, the relining of the two cremators, and the enlarging of cremator 1. That accounts for about 162,000 of the underspend, and those are now anticipated to be taking place in 2021-22. Finally, just in terms of earmarked reserves, taking account of the outturn position, the retained reserves for the crematorium are forecast to be £1.6 million at the year end, along with a general reserve of 517,000, which gives us a total forecast of reserves and balances of 2.156 million at the year end. So I'd just like to ask members to note the report, please, Chair.
Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that. I'll open it up to any questions. Hello, sorry, Councillor Blakey.
Jan's all right now. We're fine. No, I suppose on the capital programme, is there any word on when the entrance to the cremation thing's going to be started during wherever, or is that being all held back due to COVID?
Can you help with that, Graham?
Yeah, I'm coming there, Chair. Is this the entrance, Councillor
Yeah.
Brady, into? Yeah, I met with the designers 2 weeks ago, and I'm just waiting for the design coming back for the gates, and then construction work will hopefully start after that.
All right, right. Thank you, Graham.
Okay.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, are we all happy to accept the report?
Chair, I think Councillor Machin may have had a question.
My apologies, Councillor Machin.
Yeah, thanks for the report. It's very comprehensive as ever, and I can see sort of the additional cost that came in. I just wondered, from an operational point of view, whether and actually handling 15% more cremations than you have in the past, if that caused any more operational issues that you might see, we might see the consequences of looking forward. Any additional wear and tear on the equipment, or?
Graham?
Yes, I was going to say that's more of a question to Graham. Graham?
Yeah, I'll come in again there. Yeah, we have seen additional wear and tear on the cremators. As Philip's just said, we have recently just had cremator 1 enlarged now, so that's just been finished. So that'll give us a brand new cremator, an extra wide one. We do have service and work carried out during the year, so up to now things are currently running okay with the cremators, and we just continue to run them.
Okay, thanks for that. If everybody's happy with the report and we're happy to accept it, can I now move on to item 7, which is the risk register? Philip, I think you're taking the lead on this one again. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, thanks, Chair. Yep, this next report is just to inform the committee about the outcome of the half-yearly risk review that was carried out in March 2021. The crematorium has 2 risk registers. There's a service risk register and also a health and safety risk register, and they are monitored in line with the DCC methodology that currently exists. And the current service risk register is shown in detail in Appendix 4. Just go down to paragraph 10 just to highlight some of the changes and the developments that have been in this review. Paragraph 10 talks about risk number 1, which was previously the description of the managing of excess deaths. This has been changed now just to call it the demand for cremations may exceed capacity. Obviously, the last 12 to 15 months has been extremely challenging in terms of what the service has faced, and that there is a danger that, as we say, demand could increase over capacity. That hasn't happened, thankfully, at the moment, although there's still potential for a 3rd wave, so we are keeping that under review, and we've updated the impact of that risk from minor to moderate. Also in paragraph 11 talks about a new risk that's been added to the register. That's the non-compliance with coronavirus regulations by members of the public that could potentially lead to a local outbreak, and then as a consequence capacity issues in terms of additional deaths as well. The service is trying to do everything to mitigate against that, trying to explain the rules, limiting numbers, getting funeral directors on board as well to issue guidance to customers as well. So the net evaluation of that, although it's moderate, we think that the occurrence of that is quite unlikely at the moment, but it does continue to be reviewed on an ongoing basis. So those are really the 2 things that just to flag up. As I say, the detail of the risk register is shown in the appendices, and I just ask the committee to note the review, please, Chair.
Thank you, Philip, much appreciated. Can I open up to the floor, and are we happy to accept the recommendations as outlined? If there are any questions, if you could just let me know. Okay, Philip, again, thank you very much for that report. I'll now move on to item 8 on the agenda, the annual internal audit report.
Hello, thank you, Chair. My name is Tracy Henderson. I'm Interim Audit Manager of Durham County Council's Internal Audit Service. I'd like to take members to page 37 of the report pack, which is item number 8, and this is the annual internal audit report of 2021. As you'll be aware, Durham County Council's internal audit service provide the internal audit function for the crematorium, and the purpose of this report is to provide an opinion, and that is on the adequacy and effectiveness of the committee's framework for governance, risk management and control. The work undertaken to make sure that the work undertaken by internal audit during 2021 was in accordance with the public sector internal audit standards. And as part of the public sector internal audit standards, the Chief Internal Auditor and Corporate Fraud Manager is required to deliver an annual audit opinion and report, provide a report to the committee that informs the annual governance statement. If I just take everyone to Appendix 3 of the report pack, and that is on page 48, that contains the details of the internal audit report. And as you'll see in the report, I've made reference to the different approach taken this year. So due to the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions, the audit was carried out remotely. The auditor collected records and carried out the work at home in line with the pandemic restrictions and the lockdown. So as a result of that, we reduced the number of transactions we would normally review compared to previous years. But we were still met the requirements of covering a full audit, so there wasn't any issues with that. As you'll see in Appendix 3, the report delivered a substantial assurance opinion, and there was one medium recommendation made, which has been implemented, and there was one best practice recommendation also made. And the substantial opinion identifies there is a sound system of control in place. The definition of substantial says that if there's any weaknesses, that the risk posed is actually minor risk. I'd just like to also point out in paragraph 8 that due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, the opinion is, however, qualified. Just to note that obviously, as we're aware, there's a significant level of strain being placed on the normal procedures and the control arrangements. And all of the work that's been done by Graham and his team, obviously that is all extra pressure. It's an ongoing developing situation, and it's not possible to quantify the additional risk that's been placed. Obviously, we've just heard a risk report on there, so the service is actually looking at this as an ongoing basis. So to summarise, I'd like to recommend that members note the content of the internal audit report, the overall assurance opinion, which is substantial, to provide comfort that the works carried out is in line with the public sector internal audit standards, and therefore to say that there is substantial opinion on the adequacy and effectiveness of the Council's control environment for 2021. And that summarises the report.
Thank you, Tracy. That was much appreciated, very comprehensive. I do appreciate the time you put into that report. Can I open it up to any questions, if members do have any questions? And if not, are you happy to accept the report as printed? I'm getting indications of yes.
Yeah.
No requests to speak. So again, Tracy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Now move on to item 9. I've had no notice of any other business. But I'm going to take the indulgence as being chair to take this opportunity to thank you all for your patience in this extended period of my chair, and Jane for her patience as vice chair. It has been an unusual time, and I'm sure we would all be grateful to the work that the staff have both done at the crematorium and the internal DCC staff and town council staff in the work they've done to monitor the situation. Can I take this opportunity to thank all those members who are retiring for their long service to this committee and to their various authorities, and wish the best of luck to everybody who is enjoying the cut and thrust of next Thursday. Unless anybody else has got any urgent business, can I thank you very much again for your attendance today and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Neil, sorry.
Sorry.
Neil, can I
Councillor
put in,
Chapel.
please?
Yeah. Yes, please
Can I
do.
put in? Because can I say thank you to all of the people who have served on this committee with me over the years. And also, can I say thank you to the help that Tony Johnson, the Bereavement Services Coordinator, has helped me. And I really appreciate Graham and his help over the years. And thank you to all the staff. And also to say thank you to Graham for what he did quite a long time ago by bringing in apprentices. I thought that was a brave step, and it has been well worked, and people have enjoyed doing that job. So thank you to you all, and best of luck again. And well, I hope I meet you again, but I don't know where. Right, bye for now.
Thank you, Councillor Chaplow. If there are nobody else, can I take this opportunity to thank you again and to close the meeting? Thank you.
Thank you, Dale.